Gaynor just turned 2 years old. She was born with spinal muscular atrophy, also known as infantile Lou Gehrig's disease. Sophia, who loves the Disney princesses and enjoys trips to the zoo, cannot crawl, walk, or even breathe on her own. But Catherine and Vinnie Gaynor have refused to give up hope for their search for a cure. They started Sophia's Cure, a non-profit organization devoted to educating people about SMA and raising money for genetic research on the disease, only a week after Sophia received her diagnosis.
I remember my husband looking at me being like, let's start a foundation, let's start, finding a treatment for these kids. It's been too long that these kids don't have a treatment. It's been too long that we don't have a cure already.
Sophia has defied all odds and recently celebrated her 2nd birthday. SMA is the #1 genetic killer of children under the age of 2. 1 out of every 40 adults is a carrier of the SMA gene, and a child has a 1 in 4 chance of being affected by the disease when both parents are carriers. The degenerative effects of SMA have already affected Sophia's tiny body.
Because of the disease, Sophia never achieved the ability of sitting up unsupported or holding her head up. She'll never roll over, she'll never crawl, she'll never walk. Over time, the disease progresses in Sophia and she becomes weaker and weaker.
But the Gaynors remain hopeful that the genetic research, which is being done at Ohio State University, will come in time for their little girl. The family's experience with SMA has changed Sophia's father's perspective on life.
I look at the disease now as almost, at some points, like a blessing. I think that if Sophia never had SMA, I would have never known what life is really about. I think maybe I would have taken for granted that I had healthy kids and just gone on with life. Now I cherish every moment with my children, and I feel like I truly have a real understanding of what life is all about.
Sophia's Cure receives donations, grants, and recently received $250,000 from Pepsi, all of which goes directly towards raising awareness, providing information and support for other families affected by SMA, and funding cutting-edge genetic research for a treatment or cure. The organization is teaming up with the New York Islanders on March 26th for an SMA Awareness Night. A portion of every ticket sold will go towards Sophia's Cure. To find a cure for SMA would be monumental in the medical research community and could potentially lead to finding a cure for other neurological diseases, like Lou Gehrig's disease. The Gaynors offer hope and a few simple words of advice to any family who has been affected by SMA.
The important thing to maintain as an SMA parent is the hope of the future and maintaining a healthy way of living, and realizing that although your child has these disabilities, if you remain positive, you can make their life enjoyable. And we've learned not to adapt Sophia to the world, but to adapt the world to Sophia.
On this day, the family sang happy birthday to lovely Sophia. For more information or to find out how you can get involved with Sophia's Cure, please visit their website.